Perhaps you have felt like the guy in the window here have felt. You see, most of my life, I was the people on the street, and you were the guy in the window. So I was out there trying to get you at home, and we would go to all kinds of measures. We would make records of all the not at homes. That's what we called them, not at homes. NH, not at home. And then there's another symbol called DNC, do not call. So we always looked at our record for do not calls. If you were a do not call, we couldn't call on you. You could only be called on by an elder. So something new is happening in the Jehovah's Witness organization. It's changing things. And it's a new ruling that they brought out, their governing body brought out recently, is that disfellowship people that were do not calls, you see, if you were disfellowshipped, you were a do not call. People couldn't call on you. Now, disfellowship people, all those do not calls are all callable. So now it's like new unassigned territory almost. People want it. If you're a family member, you can phone up your relative, talk to him, invite him to the meeting. You're going to get them on the phone, put the pressure on them. This is what the organization's telling everyone. Their door-to-door ministry, you're going to get called on because that door was a do not call all these years, and now it's callable. So now you have all kinds of people calling at your door. What do you do? Maybe you don't want to be rude. I'm not sure. Everyone has a different circumstance. I was in it for many years, 30 years. And I was actually a pioneer. 70 hours a month I'd put knocking on doors. Now we wouldn't do it all knocking on doors, but we would do return visits. And what's that? Well, we keep track of all the people that have interest. If you accept the magazines, if we get to talk to you for a little bit, we get our foot in the door, kind of, so to speak. Not supposed to put your foot in the door, but and we get a little bit of mileage out of the conversation, we're going to walk away writing you down as a return visit. So now all of a sudden, rather than you being called on, let's say, once a year, and if they get you at home, maybe the odds of getting you at home is once in 5 years. Well, now you're a return visit. There's a special effort put into reaching you at home. So pioneers will call on you at different times of the day. They will learn your schedule, and they will start to write a diary in there under your name. In fact, we would dedicate a whole page to a return visit, a whole 2 pages, a whole book if you want. But we start writing a diary about you, and this is your habits. Like this is information, folks. Now that I'm out, I realize it's completely wrong to be profiling. That's called profiling people. That's what the police do, I guess, if you're a criminal. They're profiling you. Everything, your cat's name, your dog's name, and then when they go to visit you, because a pioneer might have 100 return visits, 50 return visits, for sure 25. Maybe only 5? Whatever. Pioneer, it doesn't matter. They're just all publishers, people. Now it's changed, so the publishers don't probably want to go door to door as much. Everyone hates door to door work, but people that like it, they become a pioneer. They're called full-time ministers. Now they only have to put in 15 hours a month to be an auxiliary pioneer. A special campaign here for 4 months or something. Normally it's 30 hours a month. Back when I was regular pioneer, it was 70 hours for regular pioneer, but 50 hours for a auxiliary pioneer, and that's changed now. It's like 30, and I think a regular pioneer is like 50 or 60. I'm not sure. It's all changed. The whole organization has brought the requirements down, made it easier for everyone. So, and the approach is different. So this is another thing. Rather than trying to get literature into your hand right away, they're going to try to get a business card probably. Get you onto their website. It's interactive. They want to do studies with you on that website. That's where the brainwashing happens. Brainwashing is just saying the same things over and over and over again. And how they got me is they used the word truth. You know, we have the truth. Truth, 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 truth. Watchtower's truth. Jehovah's truth. The Kingdom Hall's truth. The elders are truth. Everything's truth. And they sing about the truth. Quite the ring, right? You see, they're not the truth. Jesus is the truth, the life. They don't teach that. They say you will know the truth will set you free. So you'll know their religion, and it will set you free from all the other religions. That's not what Jesus said. Jesus said you will know the truth, him, and his shed blood. You know about Jesus, it'll set you free. It's about Jesus, nothing to do with any religion on the earth, the truth. But they've taken it, they've usurped the word, and that's part of the brainwashing, you see. So once you equate truth to the religion, they got you. You're done. And that's where you got to stand back and say, wait a minute, you're telling me that this one religion is it? This is God's truth? Okay, let's look at the leaders. Well, both leaders were immoral men, Russell and Rutherford. If you do the research, Wikipedia, it's interesting journey. See, Jehovah's Witnesses at the door don't do the research. They're not allowed to. So they're going to come to the door with a very narrow focus, and that's to get you into the truth. And that's part of the brainwashing gig. So let's see what we have here for you, how to help you. I'm going to pull you into my screen here, and we'll transition you over. Now this is WikiHow, and they've made a whole special segment just for Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, when I quit the Kingdom Hall, different people are different. I just quit going, wrote a letter to Bethel. It's kind of like disassociation, right? I told Bethel I'm going to quit going to the meetings. And they sent 2 elders out, and then one of the guys kept coming back, and we finally put a fence up. We put a gate up. We had animals. We're on a farm, and then that stopped it. You see, once there's a gate, it stops it. So another way to stop it is right here. I have it pulled up here. Right here. If you can get stickers, do not call stickers. They all recognize these. This is ones that we made up. You can, if you want some, we can send you our thing. You can get them at any sticker company. Make them yourself. The sticker people will make them for you, most places. Joe and Fran, they have stickers made up. So you stick these stickers on your door, and it's a do not call. You're a do not call. They won't call on you. Unless someone has a phone number, they'll call on you. Now here's another one. Be right up front. It's the child abuse. That's why you left. It's right on your sticker. If they wanted to talk about it, but they won't. Once the sticker's on your door, they won't talk. There's another one. Stop child abuse. So the stickers are the best. Gates are good if you can put up a gate. That's a good method as well. Now we're going to look at the Elders book. Before we get into this, I want to show, before I forget, the Elders book has something to say about witnessing difficulties. And we'll read it right out of the Elders book. This is chapter 23. It's dealing with field ministry. It says, individuals have a right to privacy and a right to prohibit anyone, including publishers, from entering their home or property. So JW.org, they tell their elders this, because there's some legalities here, folks. Now, if a householder insists, this is what they're saying, that no further visits to his home be made by Jehovah's Witnesses, that's what they're saying. We respect his wishes, and I'm sure that would be her wishes, I would hope. So only the date of the request and the address of the home should be placed in the territory card, so the publishers working the territory in the future do not call at that address. So it says only the date of the request and the address of the home should be placed in the territory directory. So they'll have a section there for do not calls. It shows it here. And the Congregation Service Committee should use good judgment in deciding whether to assign elders to contact such households every 2 to 3 years, is what they're saying here. So now, if you put a sticker on your door, that's for life, as long as that sticker stays there. You could take a piece of paper and just write it on there and paste that up against the door too. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It's a no trespassing sign is what you're building, a specific one for specific people. Okay, so that's what the elders book says. It says they're not supposed to call if you don't want them to call. It's quite simple. But is it really that simple? I would say not. Interacting with Jehovah's Witnesses can be tricky. And here's a few of the pictures. Answer the door. You got to interrupt them. And be honest with them. Politely decline. Close the door. Ask to be removed from their list. Build a fence. Post a no trespassing sign. So that's what we're talking about, those some kind of a sign. But this would be specific. You could go to the store, buy a no trespassing sign, and then take a big felt pen and say this is for JWs or jw.org. Just put it like that. And you don't have to write out Jehovah's Witnesses. That's a long write. jw.org. Just write it on the no trespassing sign. And contact your local Kingdom Hall. I thought that was interesting. You could contact the local Kingdom Hall and say, I'm so-and-so, I live at such and such address. Or first of all, ask, am I speaking to an elder? And call at their meeting time, Sunday mornings. Try to call before the meeting. Meetings are usually at 10, so call about 9:30. Tuesdays or Thursday nights, Friday nights, depending on when their schedule is. Usually if you drive by the Kingdom Hall, it'll show the schedule for the different congregations using that Kingdom Hall. There might even be a phone number there, I'm not sure. But you call them, ask for sure to talk to an elder, preferably the territory servant. That's the service overseer. That's the particular elder that's responsible for all the territories. So if you want to get the right guy, or say, I want to make this announcement to your service overseer, the territory manager, and this is my address. Don't give them your name. This is my address. I'm the homeowner. I'm asking you guys not to call on me again. And they'll do it. They'll put it in their records. They'll take that serious. And call the police. So, if they're persistent, you put up a do not call. Call the police. Tell them you're being harassed. And you can press charges, especially if you have a do not call on your door and they're still knocking. Phoning you, tell people leave you alone. Just be upfront with them. Be honest with them. Follow up in court. So the police will make a charge. Make sure you go to court because it sends a really strong message to Jehovah's Witnesses. Police will do it all. It's all criminal. It's not civil. You don't have to hire a lawyer. You see, when it's criminal, because they're pestering you. They're breaking your rights, your freedom of rights. You've told them over and over again. You give the police your whole report. These guys are pestering you. They got a call in place where they're trying to reach disfellowship people, and I don't want to be reached. But these guys are pestering me. So you can call the police. Put a do not call sign up first. Now, prepare yourself by becoming familiar with their training on how to respond to people who try to stop conversations. Know what they believe and note their practices and answer the door. So don't, they used to call it home but hiding. So we would knock on doors, and if you didn't answer your door, we'd call it home but hiding because we knew you were in there. We could hear it. Sometimes we see the curtains, someone peek out, the kids peek out. Usually it's the kids So we know someone's there. So you assume, well, maybe they're sleeping in. I'd always assume people sleep in. Kids are watching cartoons. Mom and dad sleeping in Saturday morning. That's what they should be doing, right? But I was a brainwashed JW at the other side of the fence and knocking on your doors. But home but hiding. So if you don't answer the door on purpose, that's home but hiding. HBH. And then you see they start to write a diary on you. Then they say, okay, I notice these guys go to work at such and such a time. You know, these guys do like, some of these pioneers just want to put time in, right? You want to put time in. So you drive around all your return visits trying to get them at different times. And you're gonna slip up. You're gonna be in the garage one day, getting out of your car with groceries, and they're gonna run up. Hey! I've been trying to get you. Oh, you're hard to get. And oh man, now what do I do? Right? So that's why we have these videos. What do? You just say, look, I'm not interested. They start talking. Maybe you know them. Maybe they're your relative. You see, the JW org is using the relatives to now go get the disfellowship people. And so maybe you're a relative. You can interrupt them and say, look. So don't allow them to get going. They'll pull the Bible out and they'll just get going and reading, and it's very, or they do videos now. It's all in the video. Once they engage you into a video, you're there watching. You're going to have to break the video silence and say, look, I'm not into this. This is not what I want. I want to be a do not call. Make me a do not call. That's all you say to them. It's a very kind way of doing it. Make me a DNC, do not call. I want to be a do not call. Okay, so just be upfront, be honest with them. They'll say, well, why do you want to be a do not call? And you say, well, simply it's the cover-ups of the child, CSA, child sex abuse. Forcing children to go door to door from infancy, that's brainwashing. Like, be honest with them. Be very honest. If you want to help them, be honest with them. Don't candy coat it. Don't candy coat it at all. Be honest with them. If you're a relative, you see, this is the tough thing. You're a relative, so you want to see, let's say you're older, and it's the kids coming or the grandchildren coming to the door to recruit you back to the Kingdom Hall. And you kind of want to see your grandchildren. You say, come on in, have tea and coffee, no religion. We're not talking religion. We're going to talk about fishing. Come on, let's go fishing. Or something like that. You can control what's going on in your house. It's your house. You just have to stand up and control it and just say right at the bat, invite them all in. They're relatives, right? You haven't seen them for years. Invite them all in. Let them get into their little thing. Sit down. I want to go make a coffee. Sit down. Sit down. We come out with some coffee and cookies, tea, whatever. Get everyone settled. You're in control. And then they start getting into, the end's coming, and hold on here. And they're already halfway through their coffee. No religion. We're not talking religion here. I want to talk about something else. Then they'll, drink their coffee. And then you say, well, don't you have anything else to talk about? Come on, don't you have anything else to talk about? And drinking their coffee. And they're thinking, what should we talk about? How's work going? Well, I've been retired. I've been retired. I don't know. You just got to play it. Play the conversation. You want to see your grandchildren. So then you break the silence. Hey, how's school going? Say to the grandchildren, how's this going? Because they're going to throw all this at you. They're going to throw the grandchildren, everything at you, all the hooks. They're going to try to hook you back. And you got to be strong. You can control the conversation. You just interrupt them. It's your house. Okay, next one. Be honest. Be completely honest. Tell them exactly and politely decline. You don't have to be rude about it. Just say, I'm sorry. I'm declining. I'm not going back. In fact, I found I do Sunday worship online. I follow a couple channels online. A lot of channels. Yeah. Oh, what religion? No religion. These are all people that actually worship online with no religion. It's spirituality outside of religion. You don't have the constructs of religion. You don't have to pay to keep the Kingdom Hall doors open. There's no literature involved. You just tune in on YouTube. They have the Bible scriptures on. They show it. I open my Bible sometimes. You can tell them what you're doing, and don't be afraid of it. And maybe they'll do it. And tell them some of your favorite channels that you look at. Close the door, and ask to be removed from the list. So, these are all the things that we covered. Put up a fence. I'm going to link this WikiHow to the video. It actually gives a step-by-step thing here. It talks about all kinds of stuff. When a Jehovah's Witness starts talking, interrupt them. Excuse me, to get their attention. You could raise your hand up. Hold it between the two of you. Hey, I'm here. And they keep talking. Go like this. They keep talking. They'll shut off. They'll get the point. And be honest. That's the big thing. Politely decline. So, folks, that's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. It's not a big deal to get rid of Jehovah's Witnesses if you're honest. And be honest with yourself. Why are you talking to them? Be honest with yourself. Why do you want to talk to them? Maybe you're lonely. So it's okay to admit that you're lonely. Maybe you miss kind of some of the old friends from the Kingdom Hall. You kind of miss some of that. It's okay to be honest with yourself about that. And then what do you do to deal with that honesty? Well, you got to ask yourself, is it the truth like they say? Do I want to end up in the hospital and die prematurely because I don't accept certain medical practices that involve blood? Do I want that fate? You got to ask yourself that, because when you go back to that Kingdom Hall and you're sitting down, you're agreeing with that amongst other doctrines that they have. So some of these doctrines could cost you your life. It's that serious. Might not seem that serious, but you end up in the hospital and that blood card's there and you don't know how you got there, and you're unconscious, and you wake up and they say, hey, do you want to die? We found your blood card. You're unconscious. You're trying to get out the words, but you can't. You don't want to be in that situation. And that's what happens. It starts with subtleties, but this is an organization that could cost you your life. So it's very important to interrupt them, be honest, and tell them why you don't want them calling. Be a do not call. It's not a bad thing. You're not an apostate. You're just a do not call. And you don't even have to give reasons, but they'll try to get it out of you. You'll just say, I just want to be a do not call. Thank you very much. Close the door. That's all you have to do. And if they phone you up, well, it depends. If it's relatives, maybe you want to see the grandchildren, but be prepared. Be prepared to control that conversation. And be polite. You'd want to see them again and again and again. So have something to do. Have something to talk about. Be prepared to talk to something else. Talk about something else, because you can redirect the conversation. Talk about going fishing. Hey, I caught a 5-pounder the other day. Hey, kids, you want to stay? I'll cook it up. We'll cook it up here. Things like that. Hey, come out and see my garden. I got some garden going, and you show them your garden, maybe backyard garden. Anything like that. Anything that you're interested in, get them involved, and get them involved in other parts of life. There is life outside of the Kingdom Hall, and it's actually quite nice. It frees your mind. There's a lot of freedom within your mind, and you can be spiritual. But once you realize that the Watchtower is not the truth, it's so easy. The rest just falls in place, and you can help the Jehovah's Witness come into your door. You can help them wake up. So there's all kinds of ways to look at this, folks. It's really your journey. It's up to you on how you want to deal with it. But I hope that helped you with a few tidbits. And folks, until next time, just keep living your life with love. Always smile, hug. I think it's good. Not that you can smile, hug, and do all those things and say, with a smile, you can say, hey, can you make sure I'm a do not call, a DNC on your territory record? Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to be called on. I'm not going to go back. I'm just going to be honest with you right up front. Nice to see you again, though, eh? Take care, Jim, Joe, Betty, Sue, whoever. Be nice. Use their names. You know their names, right? So they're people. We were in it once too. We're all people. And spirituality is really a journey through each individual. There's lots of people in there that are very spiritual, very dedicated to doing what the Bible says, so they think, right? But in the meantime, you can only hope that they'll soon wake up and you can help them. Well, thanks again, folks. And I already said my catch line, but we'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.